points down in the fourth quarter. Hillcrest, as a matter of fact, has won the last 5 games out with Patriot, dating back to 6 years ago to the day when the Warriors also stunned Hillcrest 36-35 in a 1-point game in a topsy-turvy 2017 when the River Valley League ended up in a 5-point tie. So, Friday the 13th, lucky again for the Patriots. We'll find out. The Trojans and the Warriors coming up next, the CIF on Riverside TV.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are live with something new that is not the pep rally this time.
Hey,
instead, it is the pep zone. I'm going to be your host, at least for right now, for this week. We had a little bit of a scheduling conflict. Normally, we'd have the man himself, Mr. Pep Fernandez, in here. But for tonight, we're going to try this out. We're in beta mode. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to see 2 games tonight here on what we're calling the pep zone. We're going to have both Patriot and Hillcrest versus, and Norte Vista versus Arlington, both on this particular stream. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and do a little bit of a red zone type of thing where we bounce back and forth between both games to try and keep you going with all the action that's going on. Hopefully you won't have to miss anything. You'll be able to see both games happening simultaneously sometimes with commentators going in and out as well. We're hoping to get Pep back down here by halftime, maybe get him in here, get you some updated on some scores from around the league here in CIF. But for now, you're kind of stuck with me. So the first game we're going to take a look at tonight will be Patriot versus Hillcrest. The Warriors will be taking on the Trojans. Warriors being 5-2, the Trojans being 2-5. There's going to be a lot of ground play, we're hoping, in that particular game. 2-0 in league for the Warriors, 1-1 in league for the Trojans. It'll be an interesting matchup to kind of see where that goes. If you want to go ahead and switch on over and to watch that game by itself, it is on our second YouTube stream. That is our main game of the week. The other game that we're going to take a look at and that we're going to get to here in just a little bit is Norte Vista High School versus Arlington High School. And I believe actually you might have even gotten some of the audio in there for really quick just for a second. How are we doing in there, Andy? We good? We're good. Awesome. Great. Andy's tech directing right now. Normally I would be tech directing and doing all the behind the scenes, but like I said, we're testing this out. So thank you for being part of this test run. Like I said, Norte Vista will be at Arlington. The Braves are 6-1 right now with their overall record, while the Lions are 4-3. 2-0 in league play for the Braves and 1-1 for league play for the Lions. Hopefully these are going to be quicker, faster paced games tonight so we can jump back and forth between the two. And as soon as one of them gets started, we'll actually take you out for kickoff. What we also want to do is have you guys come back a little bit later on tonight. Pep will be here in studio to highlight action from all around the league. We currently have 11 games lined up to give you highlights from, and we're somewhere in the neighborhood of about 65 to 70 games that we're going to give you the rundown for the score on here in a second. Andy, how we doing? Is there anyone ready to kick off yet?
Looks like
Patriots about to kick off. Andy, go ahead and take us on over. Let's do a side-by-side box score if you can for me, sir. So if you take a look here on your left-hand side of the screen, we're going to have Patriot at Hillcrest. Patriot, looks like, is kicking off against Hillcrest. Then we also have on your right-hand side of the screen, Norte Vista at Arlington. Ball's being brought down, and it looks like we're going to be starting, and stuff will be taken over here in just a bit, so that way they can start their first drive. The Trojans will be taking over here on offense. Again, if you want to catch that game, that's on our second YouTube stream right now. That's our main game of the week. If Hillcrest's offense heading out on the field, you can take a look at their starting lineup right there listed on that side of the screen. On the right side of your screen, you're going to see Norte Vista at Arlington. We're going to stay side by side for right now until we actually get some action going here on the Norte Vista Arlington side. It looks like Novi is going to be kicking off to Arlington, and Arlington will receive it first to kind of start out the game. We're still waiting for them to get on by. That is actually the case. So we're going to take a look at it here, getting going, starting up, kickoff from the 40, and they are away with action over there on the right-hand side. Arlington picking it up, driving it down past the 25 and down to the 27-yard line. We're going to jump back and forth between these two games all night long, ladies and gentlemen, so strap in and get ready for the fun. We'll be back, and we'll be around here in a second. We're going to take you to start out with to the Patriot Hillcrest game. Andy? Pop us on over there.
There's a look at Alfredo Vences. Had a wonderful junior year. Second down. They'll feed Vences again running left. He'll be upended there by Isaac Galiza. Another yard or so on the play. Third down. Vences, a guy who played mostly defense at the freshman and JV level, and Coach Travis Carter told me we were looking for somebody to play running back, and he kind of stepped up and won the job. There's a look at the junior. He'll be back next year for Travis Carter and company. Third down and 7 coming up. That's Ramos in motion. They'll give it to Ramos. Here's a little razzle-dazzle. McDowell taking it the other way. McDowell 45, first down. Pushed out of bounds right at midfield. First down as they'll move the sticks. 6-yard pickup on the play. So Travis Carter goes early into the book of tricks. Here we go. Ramos on the motion, and McDowell coming around the other way. A little bit of misdirection. Couldn't quite get to the edge, but did get enough for the first down. That's Grant Jones pushing him out of bounds right at midfield. First and 10 for Hillcrest. Clock moving as they're trying to move the ball. Vences shifts in the backfield. Another run, and he'll get smacked right at the 50, making the play for Patriot. Coming up is Pablo Olvera. So you look at Matt Ramos there. Ramos actually took the snap there, not Alvarado. They really like the young sophomore. You're going to see him in a lot of different places. You'll see him play some quarterback. He'll run the ball, and he'll also play a little bit on defense. This time he'll throw, complete to Parks at the 45. He'll twist forward to about the 42-yard line. It's about a 7-yard pickup on the play, so the completion by Ramos. Parks, the converted volleyball player, now playing tight end for them. It'll be a 3rd and 2 situation. Here's Ramos rolling, and he'll throw the ball. Here's the give to Alvarado, to Vences, and down he goes. Good job by the defense of Patriot. The big fella, Nicholas Godoy, in on the play. Also making the play, Nathan Villanueva, the sophomore linebacker for Patriot, maybe right to the line of scrimmage. So Patriot doing a good job against the run. Last week against Arlington, they held the Lions to 80 yards on the ground. So call it 4th down and 3 here. Alvarado back at quarterback. Adjusting in the slot is Chad Phillips. Here's the throw. Looking for Phillips. Throwing the out. Nice catch by Phillips for the first down at the 32-yard line. On the coverage for Patriot was Jesse Valero, but about an 11-yard pickup on the play. Alvarado completes it for 11 yards. Remember, they're playing without Julian Sandoval, their top receiver. The Trojans, they're hoping to get him back later in the year as they go to the playoffs. So mark it to the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. High snap, taking it is Ramos, and he'll get spun down maybe at the line of scrimmage. Joshua Pearson was the first man there for Patriots. Another look, Ramos on the option, and Pearson just filling the gap there. Get some help as well from Isaac Galiza. 2nd down, call it 9. Line is the 32. Alvarado back at quarterback. Alvarado will sling it, pump fake. He's looking for it all. One-on-one, and reeling it in right at the 1-yard line is Nicholas Shaw. The strike for 31 yards from Alvarado to Shaw, and right on the doorstep are the Trojans. So Shaw reels it in. 1st and goal from the 1. Another look at it. Nice pump fake there and good ball thrown. Here's Vences who will take it in. Is he in? Touchdown. Touchdown Trojans. And they move right down the field. 61-yard drive. Vences takes it in from a yard out.
Great touchdown there by Hillcrest. But we got some action going on over at the Norte Vista Arlington game. Arlington ended up going 3 and out. Did a little punt, kicked it off back to Norte Vista, and Novi's just been doing smash mouth football, moving down the field. We're going to stay side by side here as Hillcrest is going to kick their field goal. But there is definitely some action here moving on. Here we go as the hike. Here comes the ball. That's a throw for the first time this game. That was the first pass right there. Norte Vista going down and inside the 10-yard line. We're going to jump now on over to that Arlington Norte Vista game. Andy, let's go full screen.
Nice jump off to come up with another first down here for the Braves.
Eli Martinez, the senior receiver, 12 grabs this year for 160 yards and a touchdown. A capable outside target for Seth Bolander, a safety valve, if you will, out there at wide receiver.
Bolander's been very proficient. He's been very impressive. I think he might have mentioned 820 yards on the season. That is like almost more yards than the last 5 years for the Braves from a passing standpoint. Quite different from what we've seen in previous seasons.
11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Very efficient year for Bolander. He hands to Henderson. Gets a block at the 5. Henderson is run out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. So far, Arlington has done a decent job limiting the runs from Henderson. And that's by Henderson's standards. I mean, a 5-yard run is good for any guy, but not this guy.
Yeah, it's funny. I think when we last had him on a couple of games ago, he just feels like he needs to get a touchdown on any time he grabs the football.
It just makes you wonder why they don't feature him more in this offense.
Well, he's a double threat. You know, he's got a lot of receiving yards. In fact, when you look at his reception yards, he has over 521. So he's a double threat in comparison to Dreddy Elaine.
Elaine was the back, but they hand to the fullback, and the Braves' Efrain Banuelos is in for the touchdown.
Just like that, up on the scoreboard here for the Braves. It was very efficient. It's very typical from what you normally see here for Norte Vista by keeping it on the ground primarily and putting up the first points on this scoreboard here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Seth Bolander in the middle of that lengthy 4-minute-long drive attempted one pass. Tajon Henderson and Dreddy Elaine ran wild on that series. And Efrain Banuelos scores the rushing touchdown. In fact, that's his first on the ground this season for Norte Vista. A good hold, and Martinez, with plenty of distance, hits the extra point to cap off the 52-yard drive for Norte Vista. The Braves come into this one scoring 38
We're going to go side by side here really quick. Hillcrest just took a timeout, and the main reason why Hillcrest just took a timeout is because Patriot on the kickoff return went 60 yards, nearly 60 yards back to into Hillcrest territory, and Hillcrest has got to talk it over a little bit with their defense. So we have a little bit of downtime here right now. You can take a look and see kind of the offense that's going out there right now for Patriot, for the Warriors.
Headlines,
but they're looking to do some damage for the first time today. Norte Vista did some, smash mouth football, as you saw a little bit earlier on the right-hand side. We'll see a little bit more of that later on tonight, but what was really interesting was how many yards they picked up on that pass play there a little bit earlier. All right, let's go ahead. It looks like everyone's back out on the field for Patriot versus Hillcrest. Let's go ahead and take it and go back live over there.
1st and 10. This is Lyman in motion. Give to Felix running left, trying to get the edge. Hurdles forward to about the 31-yard line. And that's where he'll be stopped. Around the vicinity, Juan Luovano, senior linebacker, making the hit. So give it about 3 yards on the play to Felix. 2nd down and 7. Second down. Here's the throw to Lyman. Lyman catches it up at the 25, dancing at the 30, trying to get outside. Ramos brings him down right at the 30-yard line after a nominal gain, maybe 2 on the play. The completion. Another look at it. And Miramontes, remember, 3-year starter, can really fling it. Patriots going to be that power team. They're going to run 65% of the time, but especially in a playoff situation, they're very confident in their 3-year starter at quarterback. Here's the give again to Felix. He'll have the first down over the left side. Surges forward.
All right, good action run play there. You just missed it, though, on Norta Vista versus Arlington. Norta Vista just started rushing down the field. And watch this replay here really quick. Like I said, the pass play seems to be working a little bit for them here today. Not normally their go-to part of the game, but this dropped them back down inside of the 10-yard line. They'll be rushing in here to go for the goal. We're going to bring that game live full screen. And let's take a look.
Seth Bolander only attempted 4 passes last year. 74 this season has been a big play threat for them. Bolander faked the run. It's a touchdown for the Braves. Fullback Isaac Costello got the call this time, and the junior is in for his first touchdown too. It's been guys that haven't seen the end zone at all this year scoring the first 2 for Norta Vista.
Boy, I tell you what, Nick, this really shows and should probably get the rest of River Valley League a bit concerned when now you're seeing other players get into the mix here from an offensive scheme and make things happen for the Braves. And just like that, they're up by a couple of touchdowns early, well, actually towards the latter part of this first quarter here.
Out of the hold of Bolander, here is the extra point out of Eli Martinez. The kick is up, and that kick is good. 5:40 left in the first quarter.
That extra
of a
point is actually
game.
good. We do still have some action moving over at the Patriot Hillcrest game. We'll take a look at that. He'll take a look at this touchdown here one more time by the Norta Vista Braves. Just rushing up the gut, keeps it moving, keeps his head down, feet moving forward, and that's going to get you 7 points every time. Let's go back to Patriot Hillcrest.
Miramontes calls his own number, running left side, and down he goes. Looks like Joaquin Dominguez on the hit. Takes it down inside to the 17. 3rd down coming up. Villanueva split out to the far side. Marquette Moore to the near side, near slot, Derek Lyman. 3rd down for Miramontes from the 17. Here's the throw, looking complete to Moore. Moore dancing, has the first down, and Moore surges forward into the end zone. Did he get it? Touchdown. Touchdown, Warriors. What a run and catch from Marquette Moore. 17-yard touchdown off the pass from Isaiah Miramontes. And Moore, we mentioned the addition from Ontario, had to sit out the first 5 weeks. And talking to Chris Fowler, the head coach of Patriot, he said he gives us just a different dimension. Imposing figure, and he allows us to stretch the field and keep defenses honest. And he does it right there, latching onto that touchdown pass with 4:20 to play in the first quarter.
We're going to take you back side by side here as we take a look at, keep an eye on that extra point attempt. Right now, bad snap just happened in the Arlington game. That extra field goal, the extra point attempt is good by Patriot High School, tying up that game. Back over the Lions game, we had a really bad snap and ended up costing them about 7 yards. But they're going to try and bring it back here against the Braves. Let's go ahead and take it.
Negative offensive yardage so far tonight. This is their second drive, down 14. Burr under duress will tuck it and run, and slides at about the 22 to gain the lost yardage on the missed snapback and then some, a pickup of about 10 on that one.
Wisely done by Burr just to kind of slide it into the turf. Had nobody open at all. Gets chased out of the pocket and was able to at least break up some of that deficit they had.
And avoid the official while he was at it.
Brings up a 3rd down scenario here for Arlington, though.
Arlington went 3 and out on its last drive and hoped to avoid the same. Burr guns it, and there's the first down they desperately needed. A strike to the 39-yard line for Eric Barajas. Just his 7th reception of the year. 17 yards and a big first down.
Nicely done. Nice crossing pattern, connects there with Barajas. comes up with the first down of the night here for the Lions.
Kevin Argamosa had talked to us before the game about this team struggling early in ball games. They get off the typical slow starts. Not the case for Notre Vista. They came in ready to play. It seems like Arlington is starting to get their feet wet in this one as the Burr pass sails over Thomas, incomplete.
Yeah, Argamosa was telling us that they wanted to come out fast. Somehow that's not quite been the case, but it looks like they're trying to get things moving here on this latest series of downs.
Fifth play of this drive with Notre Vista's two fullbacks, Isaac Costello, Efrain Banuelos. The touchdown scores in this one, 14-0, Notre Vista. On 2nd and 10, Burr looks left all the way, and that pass is incomplete. Makai Thompson, the intended target.
Already 6 attempts by Burr. So they're definitely trying to look to the air to get some things happening here offensively.
Right, the Lions are certainly a run-first football team. 97 passing yards a game, 128.5 running yards per game. But they have been forced to throw it and have had mixed results in this quarter. Burr's going to throw it again, his 7th. Over the middle, it's underthrown and picked off by Iosefa. The senior has a curtain call if he gets by the quarterback, and he does. Steps towards the sideline. Iosefa, it appeared, is down to the 1. I wonder if he stepped out back at the 10.
I don't think he did. I think he kept in bounds, but nonetheless, what a heck of a run back here. But it looks like he's actually possibly a little bit injured because I know he took a little bit of a hit down at the leg area. He's holding his back right now.
Second pick of the year from Iosefa. Burr, the quarterback, did not see the linebacker get on the coverage.
Oh, my goodness.
Broderick Burr credit the quarterback for doing enough of a job to slow down the linebacker.
Yeah, he stayed in bounds.
Impressive.
It was very close, though. Although they are spotting the ball back, so there might have been a penalty. Yep, unfortunately there was.
That play at Notre Vista is coming all the way back, but what we have right now is Hillcrest looking to drive. They're right around midfield. Unfortunately, false start. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to go that much further right now. Penalties happening in both games that we are watching and keeping an eye on for you right now here on Riverside TV. Thank you again for joining us tonight on the Friday Night Pep Zone. Keeping watch of all the action live in real time as it's coming through. Great pass by Hillcrest Patriot. Let's go live over there, Andy, to take a look and see what's going on.
DoorDash Nicholas Shaw to the house. 56 yards. Catch and run from Nicholas Shaw, and the sophomore playing big for the Trojans. Touchdown Hillcrest. They lead 13-7.
Back to the double box as the Braves are still driving down the field. This time they actually got down to about the 29-yard line without the penalty. Hopefully we'll see a replay here of that here in just 1 second. On your left, Hillcrest kicking the extra point. Here comes the replay on your right. You'll see the Braves roll out to the right, be able to pick up the first down right at the 29-yard line. Still driving down there. The field goal is good at Hillcrest. We're going to go back full screen at Notre Vista versus Arlington.
At the Lion 29-yard line, they'll pitch it to Dreddy Elaine. He squirts through a hole and is spilled at the 21-yard line. Broderick Burr involved.
Nice work by the front line to open things up. Look at how they're pulling and giving them enough of a lane to make something happen here.
It's really just been some performance by the guys up front. And you can see why they are so good at running the football. This offensive line has just been incredible.
That makes the difference, and it's just, again, it's kind of typical backdoor football by having a very strong O-line to make things happen for his running game.
Second down and 3 yards to go. 5'8" Sola, his first carry of the night, and it's a good one. He follows his blocks and is pulled down at the 4. What a run. Angel Torrado, that's Caden Patel, with the tackle. They'll mark him down to the 3, that is, first and goal, Notre Vista.
Wow, we don't see a whole lot of in and out with these different running backs, but Batdorf is experimenting here with a plethora of running backs, and you can just kind of see how effective they all have been so far.
Already 2 different running backs have scored touchdowns here at the goal line. And instead, they'll go with a touchdown. The Braves, Fave Sola went under center, and from 3 yards out, he's in. Touchdown, Notre Vista.
Another different look, kind of a direct snap to Sola to make things happen and get into the end zone. And just like that, Braves are up. 3 touchdowns.
You couldn't have scripted a better first quarter for Notre Vista. The defense delivers a 3-and-out and an interception. The offense scores on every drive they've had tonight. Drives of 52 yards, 35 yards, and 40 yards on this last one, capped with the touchdown run from Fave Sola.
Already 6 first downs to cap off this first quarter.
And you know what's funny about Ken Battendorf? I'm pretty sure that on the sideline he's pissed that they committed that holding penalty.
21-0 Norte Vista over Arlington. As we check back in over at Hillcrest and Patriot, there is a false start on Patriot to start off their play. They actually gained a couple of yards on a couple of plays here after the kickoff back from Hillcrest. But unfortunately, that's going to set them back to about the 34-yard line. We're going to jump on over and listen to Mr. Gasol Hazan. He's got the play call.
Here, 2nd down and 8. Line is the 33. Miramontes throwing to the outside, nearly intercepted, but a nice catch on the. That was Lyman with the catch up at the 36-yard line, so 3-yard gain on the play. 3rd down coming up. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. 3rd down. 3rd down and 5. Need to get to the 41-yard line. Here's Miramontes. Got time. Throwing the ball complete for the first down. Tackle down at the 50-yard line. Making the tackle, Jacob McDowell. Making the catch was Ray Villanueva. Miramontes back to throw here. Here's the pressure coming from Maldonado. And Villanueva, normally, he's a guy who stretches the field, but they are just between the tackles, between the sticks, moving the sticks. Comes up with about a 15-yard completion. Over the left side, 4 more yards, and that'll be the end of the first quarter.
As time winds down in the first quarter for Hillcrest Patriot,
end of the first quarter,
we're hop back on over to Norte Vista versus
6.
Arlington.
We'll take a break here. 14-7.
And take a look and see the last couple of seconds there. What's going on?
Them later in the game. This team is a run-first football team. I get it. It's 21-0, but you'd hate to, abandon your game plan in the first quarter. They'll keep it on the ground. A jet sweep to Achille Thomas. He crawls to about the 43-yard line, where the Braves, Efrain Banuelos, who scored the game's first touchdown, he makes the defensive stop. We've played a quarter from beautiful Arlington High School with the football stadium in the middle of
Riverside
campus.
TV studio. What a fantastic first quarter for both teams, for both games, I should say. 21-0 Norte Vista over Arlington in that first quarter. Norte Vista seems to have that game well in hand, not just only rushing the ball up the middle, up the gut like they're used to doing, but also getting some stuff done through the air. So that that way Arlington's defense is thrown off a little bit and has to kind of play out at those wide receivers to start out this particular game. Patriot versus Hillcrest is a little bit more of a rough and tumble battle, 14-7. Hillcrest at the end of the first quarter there. It's great to see kind of like those two teams battling back and forth, and I hope we're going to see a lot more of that here coming up here in the second quarter. Great way to start this Friday night Pep Zone preview episode, I guess you can say. Thanks for being with us this week as we do our first beta test, trying to figure all this stuff out. Your boy Pep Fernandez is going to be back in here in the studio, hopefully around halftime, maybe give you some updates for some scores around the other leagues. But for now, we're going to go back right out to Norte Vista versus Arlington as the second quarter action gets underway.
And he runs into a wall.
Wow.
Led by Isaac Costello, but half of the defense was in on the play at that time. Juan Garcia there as well. This defense may get overlooked because of the excellence of Tajon Henderson and the playmakers they have. But this defense is the best in the River Valley League scoring-wise and yardage-wise this season.
Wow, just like that. Just no kind of forward progress. They are looking at a fourth down, and they're going to have to boot this one away.
Arlington in 3 drives has 1 first down. This would be their second punt. And, of course, the turnover.
Baby,
Mendoza, no chance for the snap that time. On the bounce, he sends away a good one. Disaster averted for Mendoza. He turned what could have been a turnover into a 14-yard punt.
You know, the Lions were very fortunate. They got away with one because there was really not a serious rush being placed on here by the Braves. So he was able to get that football away on the kick.
Good field position for Norte Vista, whose first 3 drives have all ended in touchdowns. His Braves offense has just been incredible. They've scored 38 points per game, a league high this year. And in the River Valley League are averaging 45 points per game.
Yeah, they have essentially already fielded 269 where their opponents have only had 104.
Incredible season for them. Maybe the best in the Kent Battendorf era. And, of course, as soon as I say that, broadcasters
we jinxed them. Absolutely jinxed them there on the loss. Bad snap, unfortunately.
And it is interesting. You know, the weather can't be any
We got some action happening over at Hillcrest and Patriot. Patriot is charging down the field. They have just hit right around the red zone, that 20-yard line there, after a great run on play. Here's a quick little replay of that from that particular game. You can see right here, a nice little run, fake run up the gut, taken around on the edge, hitting that corner. And when he hits that corner, that is able to strive up that out of bounds line to get us in the red zone. So we get a little red zone action. On your right side of the screen, Novi still rushing that ball a little bit up into Arlington's face there a little bit. But we're going to go full screen on Patriot and Hillcrest.
Flynn out of the backfield. This is Felix catching the ball, smashes down around the 10, close to another first down. Josiah Felix, varsity as a freshman and then missed a lot of last year because of an injury. But, man, Coach Fowler said he likes to run to contact. Watch how he does it here. He wants the hit right about the 10-yard line. So the completion takes it down to the 12-yard line. First down. Here's the give to Felix, this time slipping up the middle. Slithers up just inside to the 10-yard line. A couple yards on the play. Let's see who got down. Aiden Parks kind of got low but needed help up top. So Felix slithering right inside the 10-yard line. There's a look at Josiah Felix. So more split out to the near side. The far side, that's Villanueva. In the near slot lineman, and the lone man in the backfield is Josiah Felix. Felix toted the ball 23 times last week in Patriots' 30-27 win against Arlington. Third down. Miramontes calls his own number, and down he goes. The big fella making the play, Khalil Woodard, steps up. He had 3 tackles last week against Ramona, and he stops Miramontes in his tracks. Fourth down coming up. grabbing that right knee, just above the right knee. You hate to see any kind of injury happen. Miramontes takes it, running behind Felix. Nice job by Woodard. His leg got kind of twisted under him. Woodard, a senior, making the play from his defensive end position.
All right, as they look to work out that injury here, we're going to go back to the Norte Vista Arlington game. There was encroachment that just happened right there by the Lions that allowed Novi to move up 5 more yards. We're going to go back to this particular game and watch him as he rushes up the middle.
One to beat for Henderson. Man, the 20, the 10. Tajon Henderson, that's 42 yards. Touchdown, Norte Vista.
That is all Henderson, just like we mentioned. Every time he touches the football, he says he wants to score. That's why he has a per-carry average of over 22 yards every time he gets a touch.
The defense had the angle on Tajon Henderson, but that doesn't matter. When he's in open space, there's just no chance.
Tremendous speed by Henderson. You'll see he just needs a little crack in the seam, but in that last one, there was a huge hole that he just kind of burned around the defense to come up with another touchdown on the scoreboard here for the Braves.
I like that visual. The turf literally on fire behind him with the jets that he has. I mean, he may as well have a bazooka on his back with how fast he moves downfield. The extra point is good. Our score is 28-0 Norte Vista.
Fantastic score yet again as we go side by side. Still working out that injury over here at Hillcrest and Patriot. Henderson, as you can see again on your right-hand side of the screen, just watch this speed right up the middle. Absolutely fantastic with the way that he was able to cut through that particular line, bounce his way out to the outside, and after that he was gone. Just gone all the way to the house for another Norte Vista touchdown, bringing that game's score to 28-0. For those of you wondering about the number 1 versus number 2 matchup tonight, Mater Dei versus St. John's Bosco, that game just now got underway. It is 0-0 in the first quarter. If you want to take a look at that game, I believe it is over on Bally Sports Network. For now, we're going to go ahead and take you right on back out to Hillcrest and Patriot.
So the backup quarterback is in
Patriot continues its drive in the red zone.
Defensive backs. And a false start, 5 yards against Patriots. Not a surprise with a new quarterback coming in. So here we go. We got the split screen going now. These are the 2 games we have going on, but this is the Pep Zone, as you can see, where we'll be able to watch multiple games if you would like on Riverside TV. Right now it's just the 2, but eventually, hopefully for the playoffs, we can get 2 or 3 going. So Isaiah Miramontes goes off the field, and it's a big 3rd down play coming up for the Hillcrest defense. Rolling right, looking to throw. Good block by Felix, completes the ball to the tight end, out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Let's see how close he was. Diego Ramos makes the catch, and he'll be short. Needed to get inside the 5. They'll mark that ball to the 8-yard line. So Payan with the completion to Ramos. Another look at it. Pushed out of bounds by Burnett at about the 8-yard line. And here comes the field goal. Freddie Madrid will come out. It'll be about a 25-yard kick. Madrid trying to make it 14-10. Swings the leg. Up it goes, and it's good. So Freddie Madrid now 6 of 6 in terms of field goal attempts, and he makes it a 14-10 game with 7:54 to play here in the first half. It's 14-10 Hillcrest over Patriot, but the story is, can Isaiah Miramontes come back onto the field? Leg twisted under him on a play as Patriot was driving. And we always talk about, when you get to a quarter, if you're a running team, you get to the playoffs, you want a quarterback who can make some plays, and obviously Miramontes had proved he could do that for Patriot, but will he be available? So let's see how Chris Fowler on the athletic training staff, the sports medicine staff for Patriot play it, as the Warriors will kick it away. A couple of sophomores back deep, Shaw and Ramos. Here's the kick. Through Ramos' hands, Shaw picks it up at about the 6. Nicholas Shaw's made a couple of big plays already today. He'll surge over the 25 to about the 27 before he's brought down there. Making the tackle is Kyler Holloway for Patriot. 1st and 10 coming up for Hillcrest. Get a look at Nicholas Shaw there. Already has a touchdown catch today. League champion in the 100 meters as a freshman. So that's where Hillcrest will start it off. And the Warriors defense will need to step it up. Defensive coordinator
Arlington.
Patriot.
Very interesting. The Braves did not sport a run back player. They chose to kind of defense that line. I'm not sure if they were expecting a fake because they had such a short situation.
Here's the give to Vences. Oh, nice little misdirection. Moved to the open field, second level, and flung down at about the 45-yard line. So a 29-yard pickup. Finally tackled on the play by Nathan Villanueva. Another look at the play. Kind of pushed and cuts back in. Nice little cut and avoids the second tackle. And that's what Vences can do for you. And Villanueva has to drag him down do-si-do by the jersey. Here's the throw. Looking downfield. Here's the hitter complete to Shaw. And Shaw down to the 20-yard line. 26-yard completion from Alvarado to Shaw. Great pitch and catch. Third catch for Shaw. He's already got 113 yards in receptions. Nice play action, good pitch and catch. And you knew it was a special game because you saw before the game who was throwing with Alvarado out there. His head coach, Travis Carter, the old quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 20. Here comes McDowell in motion. McDowell taking it over the left side, and down he goes. Villanueva there, maybe got 4 yards on the play on the end around. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Update from Arlington, 28-0 Norte Vista, 5 minutes to go in the first half. We got this score 14-10 as Hillcrest, though, driving. 2nd down from the 15. Alvarado throws to the outside. Phillips with the catch. And Phillips goes down almost immediately. Ball on the turf. Patriot says they got it, but do they? No signal yet, waiting on the white hat. And his white hat kind of falls off. They're discussing it. Yes, turnover. Ball squirts loose there. So the turnover happens with 6:10 to play in the second quarter. So the completion down to the 13-yard line. Now the question is, who's coming out to play quarterback? And Miramontes.
Double box right here. The reason why is because Norte Vista just scored a touchdown on a long throw, again, from their quarterback. We've been mentioning this all night. That's been having a great game, opening up their rushing game as well as their passing game. The Lions have been not able to stop it. You can see on your left-hand side there, going back the other way, is Patriot taking it to the house for another touchdown. 16-14 on the left side of your screen, 34-0 on the right side of your screen. Able to bring you both games happening simultaneously. That's what the Friday Night Pep Zone is all about. Wow. Two field goals are about to happen simultaneously, side by side right here. On your right, the one is kicked up for Norte Vista and good. On your left, we're going to see Patriot trying to one-up it again. Here's another look at that great throw on the right-hand side of your screen for Norte Vista. just really opening up their running game as well as their passing game. The field goal on the left-hand side is good for Hillcrest. We'll see a quick little recap over there of how they made it down the field in order to get into score there as well. Tons of action here happening on the Friday night Pep Zone. Just took it to the sideline and took off, and he was gone. Just gone, taking it all the way to the house. We're going to stay side by side here for a little bit just to check and see what happens on these kickoffs. You're watching the Friday Night Pep Zone here on Riverside TV. I'm your beta show host, Mr. Jason Sipe, normally the tech director for the Friday Night Pep Rally. Have my technical director, Mr. Andy Lopez, in there, switching the action over there for you, making sure that we can keep an eye on both games. As the Lions coming back on the kickoff return. Oh, the fumble on the right-hand side of your screen. On the left-hand side of your screen, Hillcrest charging up, coming down at about the 24-yard line. We're going to go all the way over to the Norte Vista Arlington Lions game, check and see what they can actually do. Hopefully the Lions can put together a drive here before the end of the half, and then we'll pop back over to the Hillcrest Patriot game. Both games with about 5 minutes left in the first half. You can see both kickoff returns again here happening simultaneously. Both teams have actually been playing pretty good on special teams. It just gets really interesting when we start getting into those more offensive plays. We're going to go back to the Arlington Norte Vista game. Back on the call.
With that, Logan wrapped up with a 40-yard line by Juan Garcia. You don't see it too much about the guys spinning and moving around because it leaves you susceptible to a hit from your backside, and that was a perfectly timed hit right into the guy's elbow to force the fumble.
That's exactly what happened to him, causing him to cough it up.
Now Arlington, who avoids the turnover there, could get right back in the game with a touchdown on this drive. They'd, of course, need a little more than that, but it's a start for the Lions down at home. Del Toro, who just had the big return, heads to his right and gains about 4 on the run. 3rd and a long 2 is coming up for Arlington with about 3.5 minutes left in the first half.
Only 2nd carry of the night for Del Toro. Chips away and puts the Lions with a 3rd and about a long 3 here.
You know, you never know. It's 35-0, but JR, we've been here before. You never know.
Well, consider this. The Lions, just a couple years ago, started off their season 0-7.
That's
went
right.
on to win a CIF title.
That's right.
So, as Pat Dorf was telling us earlier, this team does not quit.
Broderick Burr looking left all the way.
Oh,
beautiful pass.
wow.
My goodness. Reese Contreras reels it in, and a late flag is down too.
They're going to get the benefit of a late hit, too.
It's like if you've ever dropped a ball into a bucket. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better throw, right on the money to Contreras.
Nicely timed. But you're going to see the extracurricular activity, and that just was not needed there by Norte Vista's Julian Reyes.
One of the league's best defenders, Julian Reyes, already with 3 picks this year. Henderson's been involved defensively on a number of big plays and was close to knocking that one out. But a perfect pass from Burr beats the defense. Del Toro is stuffed by Fave Sola at the line of scrimmage. His 9th tackle for loss this year. He's been very disruptive against the run. That leads the team in tackles for loss. Senior Fave Sola. How about 6'3", 200 pounds up front for that defense?
That's a good-sized kid. Boy, I'm sure there's probably some colleges looking at him as well when you kind of bring that sort of muscle into the whole stats.
And Sola will line up at left end for Norte Vista in a 2-point stance. He's in on the rush. Burr looking left, finds Del Toro in the backfield. And Henderson combines with Garcia for the tackle at the 24-yard line. A short game.
Big throw down the field happening right now in the Patriot Hillcrest game. Let's go on over to them. Gasol, you got the call.
9-yard completion from Alvarado to Matt Ramos. The Trojans to pay dirt.
Laundry on the field. Let's see what that's about. Perhaps downfield a block or... No, doesn't look like it. There's our white hat, Joel Malcor. That could be one of those celebration penalties. Oh, that was a get-back flag. Okay. That was a get-back flag. So Ramos, the 59-yard touchdown catch at 3 minutes to play in the first half. PAT up in first.
That field goal is good there for Hillcrest. What you guys didn't see, and I think hopefully they're going to show it here on the replay again, Hillcrest was chipping away for the longest time, trying to get just a few yards here, a few yards there, until eventually they get this throw up the middle. Then he takes it straight to the house to make it 21-17. Hillcrest on the right-hand side of your screen. Arlington was finally starting to make some moves down the field. And now, unfortunately, there is a Norte Vista player that is down. We don't know who the player is. He was having a little bit of difficulty standing back up, so we do believe it is a lower body injury. But they are taking their time and escorting him off the field. So we're going to stay side by side here just for a second. Arlington Lions trying to make some moves, seeing where they can go. You can see the injury there on the right-hand side of your screen. So we're bringing out some trainers and some other individuals just to make sure that they can get him off the field. And hopefully we can get back to playing here soon. You can definitely see that right ankle appears to be the major issue and problem for number 35 there on the Norte Vista sideline. Hopefully he'll get some attention and be back out later on here in this game. On the left-hand side of your screen, Hillcrest tried to do a little pooch kick that did not get picked up. So Patriots will be starting from about their own 45-ish yard line. We're going to go back big screen on Norte Vista versus Arlington here in a second as Arlington's looking to score.
Contributor of that defense, Damon Iosefa will take his place on that inside linebacker spot. Burr fires out of the reach of everybody. Mendoza was the closest.
Yeah, not sure who he was going for.
Second down and 10 yards to go at the Norte Vista 11. 3 timeouts for both schools, and by this stage, you almost wonder if the Braves might want to burn one to get another shot at it offensively.
It's not too bad to think about something of that nature.
Adrian Mendoza, senior tight end, came in as the team's best receiver. 8 grabs, 147 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That was his first target of the night, let alone 0 catches, rarity for him.
Oh.
Muff snap, and Burr eats it back of the 13. Garcia was the first there and is credited with the Norte Vista tackle. No timeout on either side. Arlington faced with a 3rd and 13.
Just again, another bad snap. And the Lions actually lose a yard on that one.
Make it 3rd and 12. They give him a favorable spot there on the fumble. Arlington will choose to keep that clock running. 3rd down. Lengthy Lion drive beginning back of their own 30. They'd love to cap it off with a touchdown. A play fake to Logan. Burr under duress and throws that one away. He had no chance with the Braves screaming into the backfield like that.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is to try to kick it to get something on the scoreboard when you only have 33 seconds remaining in the first half here.
And their place kicker is Javier Hernandez, a senior, who has a cannon for a leg. So this is certainly well within his range. 30 yards near the right hash. Good set. The kick is up. And with plenty of distance, Hernandez buries it with
Arlington is now officially on the
35-3.
board in their game against Norda Vista on your right-hand side. On the left-hand side of your screen, Patriots just moved up 5 yards after encroachment on Hillcrest. Runs up the right-hand side, is out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Still got about 20 seconds left in your game on the right-hand side of your screen, Norda Vista versus Arlington. Arlington will kick off to Novi. We'll take a look and see what they're going to do, if they're actually going to push it down the field for another score in the last 20 seconds. Or if they're just going to go ahead and take a knee and go in at halftime up by 32. On the left-hand side of your screen right now, we're really looking for Hillcrest to try and take off and add to their lead as they go into halftime. We're going to go full screen back on Patriot and Hillcrest.
Carrying it again for about 3.5. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Hillcrest with the lead, 21-17. We've seen plenty of fireworks here. Miramontes will go left side. Put his shoulder down. Randy Alhambra got his shoulder in there as well, and he'll stop Miramontes right at the line of scrimmage. Third down as the clock continues to move towards a minute to play. See if they put it in the air here. Marquette Morris split out to the near side. Lyman in the far slot. Villanueva split out to the far side. Third down coming up. 3rd and 6 from the 25, and whistles and flags. 21-17 Hillcrest. First half coming to an end at Arlington. Novi 35-3 over Arlington. So a 5-yard penalty. That's a big penalty on Patriot. Puts it back to the 30-yard line. So they need to get inside the 20 for a first down. You see kind of in the middle of the screen to the left, the chain gang standing there. 3rd and 11.
On the right-hand side of your screen, it looks like Norda Vista is going to take a knee. Nope, not quite. They're going to do a shovel pass. Not going to waste any time. That'll be the end of the first half. On the right-hand side of your screen, Norda Vista goes in to the locker room up 35-3. On the left-hand side of your screen, we still got Patriot and Hillcrest. Patriot's throw was great, but he didn't quite get out of bounds, so that clock continues to run, and we're getting really close to halftime here. As a matter of fact, they may let it run all the way down to halftime here. Let's go full screen of the Patriot-Hillcrest game.
Patriots got to use a timeout here, or that's it. And now they'll call timeout.
Timeout, Patriot.
With about a second and a half left. I guess they're going to bring the field goal team out. So there's Chris Fowler talking to his offense. Curious why they didn't use that timeout earlier. He had all three. So 21-17 Patriot. I'm guessing they'll bring out Madrid. The longest field goal Madrid has kicked is 33 yards. There's Joshua Mason, the defensive coordinator for Hillcrest. Patriot will get the ball to start the second half. So about the 28-yard line. And the offense is going to stay out there, so no field goal attempt here. One last play for Patriot. Now, I'm guessing, was there a miscommunication as to why they didn't call the timeout earlier coming up on 4th down? Here we go, 4th and 8. Miramontes looking deep. Flings it up. In the end zone. Incomplete. Matt Shaw there on the coverage. Excuse me, Matt Ramos there. Marquette Moore was the intended receiver, and that's how the first half will end. Miramontes throws the incompletion. 21-17 at the half here. Thanks for joining us on Riverside TV.
All right, we'll bring it back right now into the Riverside TV studios. I am your host for the inaugural beta testing, whatever we want to call this episode of the Friday Night Pep Zone. Your man, Pep Fernandez, will actually be back here next week. He'll actually be hopefully taking in the game and giving you some updated scores from around the league and calling the plays side by side as we just got done having a great first half and a great inaugural beta testing, whatever you want to call it here, show. Now that we're here at halftime and both games have gone to commercial, what we want to do is update you really quickly on some scores that we had from around the league, but from yesterday. Thursday, there was a lot of CIF Southern Section football that took place yesterday at around 7:30. Andy, let's go ahead and start going to those scores so we can take a look at them. The first game we're going to take a look at here is Centennial versus Vista Murrieta. Centennial ended up winning that particular game 62-14. My former Broncos, Coley Candell, they put up a valiant fight as much as they possibly could, but Centennial is just a powerhouse team, and it's great to see what Matt Logan is continuing to do over there in Corona. Next game that we had, we took a look at last night was Fontana versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame's season, while not the best that they've had in a long time, they did put some points up on the scoreboard, and they are continuing to fight back and still stay in it as much as they possibly can for the season. But as you can see, they lost to Fontana 47-6. Pep will have more to talk about on that later on tonight on tonight's Friday Night Pep Rally. Next game that we took a look at was CSDR versus United Christian, and CSDR continues to have a better half of their season that they're running through right now. They didn't start out the year so hot, losing a couple games early on, but lately they seem to have found their stride and stretch, and you can see putting up 85 points here on the board against United Christian to take the win and go 2-0 in their league. As we mentioned before, there was the Vista Murrieta Centennial game. What was the next game that we had there, Andy, that we're going to be talking about later on? Santiago, as Pep would say if he were here. Santiago went down to Temecula Valley, 35-25. Sharks still looking for their first win of the season. Hopefully they'll be able to get one or two to kind of close it out and end the season on a high note. Okay. We also had Rancho Verde taking on Elsinore. Rancho Verde 7-1, having a great, fantastic start to their year. Elsinore still kind of middle of the road, hit or miss, depends on the week, honestly, with them and the team that they're playing against. They're now 1-2 in the league versus Rancho Verde, who is 3-0 in their league. We also had Orange Vista taking on Heritage. Heritage this year not being their particular year. Orange Vista continuing to roll, especially through league play. They're now 3-0. Heritage is 0-3 in that play and league play. Again, Heritage down 35-0, and that game is a final from last night. We also had Moreno Valley taking on Vista Del Lago. Vista Del Lago is now 6-2 on the year. Even though they're 0-1 in the league, we're going to fix this graphic, I promise you, before tonight's Friday Night Pep Rally. So it'll actually say 0-2, or is it 2-2, Andy? Do we know? We don't know. So we'll make sure that we get those league standings updated. I believe they're 0-2. Moreno Valley is in the league. That's exactly what Andy just got done putting up there. Thank you for the update, Andy. And let's go ahead and move on to the next score. Also last night, you should have seen it here on Riverside TV, Riverside Poly taking on Lakeside. Riverside Poly comes away with a win there, 37-12. Lakeside not having the best of years here, and neither is Poly, but again, coming on a little bit strong, a little bit later in the year, and they're growing. They're very much a growing team, and we look forward to seeing what they do to finish out the season. Next score, Andy, do we have another score after this or no? We do. We have Summit versus Grand Terrace. Grand Terrace ended up going down and losing one, which they're not really used to losing so far this year. First game of league play for them against Summit. Summit took this one by 2 touchdowns, 35-21. Next one, Andy, let's go to it. We have Bloomington over Colton last night. Bloomington keeps on winning. They just don't know how to stop. They've been pretty much unstoppable. I've been following their scores in their games that they've been having this year so far. And again, barely ended up taking this one, but still another one for the win column for Bloomington, 20-18 over Colton. We already went over this a little bit earlier, talking about what Fohai and Notre Dame were doing, but what we haven't touched on is San Bernardino and Rubidoux. San Bernardino takes this one 34-16 over Rubidoux. San Bernardino keeps on rolling in their league. Rubidoux still looking to find a way to end the season in a better stance than they currently are right now. Next one, Andy. Cool. Next one we have is A.B. Miller versus Pacific. Both these teams struggling a little bit this year, but A.B. Miller put on an offensive show. Pacific's defense was just no match for what it was that they had in their particular lineup. The final score in this one, 47-6. Is that it? That's all the scores that we have tonight. Andy, we'll go ahead and bring it on back over here, back at the Riverside TV studios. I've been keeping track of a couple of other games that we've been taking a look at throughout around the league and around Southern section. Pep's going to have more on this a little bit later on. He's actually on his way over here from a King game against Corona, where the Wolves are up 37-0 at halftime. So he's going to have a lot more information and action on this stuff later on tonight when we actually get into the Friday night Pep rally. Another score coming around here, my Liberty Bison taking on the San Jacinto Tigers. Right now that game is also at halftime. The current score is 23-14. The Bison continue to roll in their league, and if things keep up, they should be expected to go 9-1 for the season. Speaking of continuing to roll in the league, Meredith Valley, the Nighthawks, are up 21-13 on the Chaparral Pumas. Chaparral last week ended up losing to Vista Murrieta, who ended up losing this week to Centennial. A little shuffling of the round of the rankings. It'll be interesting to see what the Pumas actually do. By the way, the Pumas just kicked a field goal, so now that score is 21-14. Meredith Valley's still up. So that game is very close to closing in on halftime. It looks like they have about 30 seconds left in that game before that game ends up taking off there. Right now, another score really quickly from around the league. We got San Gorgonio and Arroyo Valley. If you get a chance to take a look at this one, it's a tight one. It's a matchup, 14-14, with a couple of minutes to go here in the second quarter, less than 3 minutes. Currently, it looks like San Gorgonio has the ball on their own 31-yard line. They're going to try and make a last-second rush down the field right before halftime here to kind of see what they can do with that. Okay. Linfield against Trinity Classical. We're going to have a lot more information on this later on. Right now, Linfield is up, giving a little bit of a smackdown on Trinity Classical. It's 30-0 as they head into the half there. Okay, Roosevelt and Norco fighting a little bit of a tough match here. It looks like Roosevelt actually failed on their two-point conversion, which is the reason why it's 12 instead of 13 or 14 in their matchup. So they're only up 5 right now on Norco. Plenty of time for the Cougars to come back against the Mustangs. They have about 30 seconds to go in their matchup. And the last one we're going to take a look at here is Aquinas versus Valley Christian. Aquinas started out pretty strong against this team, and they look to be, again, charging down the field right now. They're up 21-0. The Falcons are over the Defenders. So it'll be very interesting to see where this ends up by the end of the night. All right, we've still got about 5 minutes left in halftime for both games, and my man, Pep Fernandez, actually just showed up right now. Doesn't even realize that we're live. He's kind of trying to sneak in the back. We were taking a look at that game over there, Pep, against King High School, and I'm sure you're going to have some more stuff on there for us here in a little bit. For right now, we're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back, and we'll go side by side with some action here in a couple minutes. Stay tuned, guys.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Our convenient curbside trash collection services help promote a clean and healthy Riverside. But what do you do when you have items too big or heavy for your can? That's where our bulky item pickup service can help. Before you call for help with your bulky items, be aware that not all items are acceptable for our free curbside service. furniture, tree trimmings that are properly bundled and no longer than 36 inches, water heaters, and other non-hazardous materials are fine for curbside pickup. Appliances containing Freon such as refrigerators, freezers, and room air conditioners may also be picked up curbside by separate appointment. Unacceptable items include hazardous waste, antifreeze, paints, filters, and tires. We also cannot pick up electronic waste such as computer monitors and televisions, or fluorescent bulbs and household batteries. Construction or demolition materials such as scrap wood, metal, concrete, doors, and drywall are also not accepted. These items may be dropped off in person for no cost at the Agua Mansa transfer station or at one of our Clean Up Riverside events. For more information and the current schedule for these drop-off events, please visit riversideca.gov/cleanupriverside or call 951-826-5311, your one-stop shop for city services. To schedule a bulky item pickup, first call your service provider for an appointment. On the day of your appointment, please make sure that your items are curbside by 5:30 a.m. You may have up to 5 items picked up at each service call. If you have an appliance containing Freon, please call the Appliance Recycling Center of America at 1-800-654-2722 for your free pickup appointment. RPU customers may even qualify for a rebate. Visit riversidepublicutilities.com for information on current residential rebate programs. To find out more about the City of Riverside Trash Services or our Clean Up Riverside events, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
The City of Riverside is pleased to announce a new innovative downtown parking program called Parking Your Way, designed to offer more convenient, accessible, and up to 90 minutes free parking in aggregate each day. Parking Your Way will utilize a web app where patrons can select 30 minutes of free parking in a metered on-street space and/or 60 minutes free in either a public parking lot or public parking garage. Patrons can conveniently pay and extend their parking needs as well through the web app. Parking Your Way will benefit the Riverside community by enhancing the downtown parking experience, leading to improved quality of life and encouraging patrons to frequent downtown establishments. The web app can be used to select free parking options, pay for parking, and extended parking sessions right from your smartphone. To illustrate how easy the web app is to use, let's demonstrate how a patron would pay for parking in downtown Riverside once they arrive to their parking destination. First, I locate a QR code in the area I'm parking at. I use the camera on my smartphone to scan the QR code. The QR code redirects my smartphone to a web page where I can then enter in my cell phone number. Once done, click Proceed. I'm now able to see the different dates and length of time options in that area. I choose to park my car for about 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I enter in my license plate number. Once completed, I then click Continue. The web app now leads me to a payment page where I enter my credit card information. When done, click Authorize Card. The parking session has now begun. I will receive a text message with the session info. I'm now able to see the parking session, the duration for which I have parked, and the payment that I have authorized for. If you frequent downtown Riverside, it may be best to download the web app and create an account so you don't have to enter all the information each time you park. Parking in downtown Riverside just became easier. This concludes the City of Riverside's parking web app demonstration. Thank you so much.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. When placing your trash containers for pickup, please observe the following. Place each container with at least 3 feet separation from each other and at least 6 feet from obstructions such as parked cars, fire hydrants, mailboxes, and trees. Your bin should be placed at the curb no later than 5:30 a.m. on your collection day with the arrow on the lid pointed toward the street to ensure your bins get emptied. If you are experiencing issues with your trash collection or perhaps need a replacement for a damaged trash bin, please contact our customer service call center by using the 311 app or website, or by dialing 951-826-5311 to reach one of our customer service representatives. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks. The City of Riverside Public Works Department wants you to know how holidays affect your trash service. Trash pickup will not be available during major holidays and collection times will be adjusted in response. Residents with city trash service will see the following adjustments. For Monday holidays, your Monday collection will happen on Tuesday and Tuesday collections will occur on Wednesdays. For Thursday holidays, Thursday service will occur on Friday and Friday service on Saturday. For Friday holidays, your Friday service will occur on Saturday. Residents served by outside vendors will experience a one-day delay of service for each day after any holiday taking place Monday through Friday. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
Was the dedication ceremony for Mulberry Village, 10 transitional living cottages that will be available for those who have recently been homeless, that are either living in a shelter or a halfway home or something along those lines, that are ready for the next step, but maybe not exactly fully ready to be 100% independent yet.
Well, this is one piece and one of a myriad of solutions that we need to address homelessness in our city. So this housing will support some of the most vulnerable people on our streets. We need more of it and housing at all different levels of support. So we have to start somewhere, and this is a really awesome start.
The city has a dedicated case manager that will be providing the support for the residents here. And then we also partner with Riverside Housing Development Corporation, who will be the property manager. And they will be making sure that the property is well maintained and making sure everybody's adhering to their lease.
We're talking about people that will come in here probably with nothing. And so they have nothing to furnish with. So our agreement with the City Housing Authority is that we would work at furnishing these homes by leveraging Habitat's relationships with some of our local retailers. Habitat for Humanity's model is built around having volunteer work as the labor to keep the costs down for the project. Finally getting to this spot to where we are very close to having these residents move in.
It's just so beautiful. I think this has beautified the neighborhood in a way that we were expecting, but to see it come to life like this, it's just a great day.
Mulberry Village is a really important, I think, demonstration of the types of diverse housing that we need. You know, we need emergency shelter for people who need to get into a bed at night. We need stable housing to help people get in and stay long term. But we also need what we call transitional housing, which is here. I think we're going to see this as a successful model that we will be able to replicate elsewhere. The public is eager to see this type of thing. Our community wants to see the suffering on our streets stop. And this is one way and a big way that we can help that.
So today we're standing here in front of the Grandmother's Mural. And this is a mural done by an artist named Denise Silva, who is a fantastic artist in our community. And we found this mural when she submitted it for another proposal. And when the staff saw it, we said this has to go up somewhere in Riverside.
So I was a little intimidated by the just setting in a concept, but I thought this is something that I really wanted to do, and actually I just felt really called to submit it. I had become a grandmother, and the way the universe works, it sent this quote in my direction, and it was, "When the grandmothers from the four directions speak, a new time is coming." So the four directions are represented by the image of the four grandmothers: Tongva, people of the earth; Liseño.
One of my hobbies that I have is go hiking. I like the outside activity.
First, the beta test episode. We're coming back in here. Scores at halftime really quickly here. Norte Vista at Arlington. It's 35-3. Novi well in control there. We'll be taking a look and see how much more they can grow that particular lead by the end of that game. The other game that we're following, we're keeping track of, is Patriot versus Hillcrest. Hillcrest is up, what is it, Andy, 21-17, I believe? I believe it's 21-17 right now. Hillcrest has the lead in that game. But what's great is that here during halftime, before we get you back out there to the action, we got our man, the man, Pep Fernandez is in studio. Pep, it's great to have you back in over here. Andy, let's go ahead and show everybody that he's actually here.
I'm really here. I just unmuted my mic. I'm really here. Actually, Jason, right now I'm cutting up some highlights of King versus Corona, and it's homecoming for King out there tonight. So Coach McMains, the head coach of the King Wolves, he's supposed to come in studio tonight.
Fantastic.
I very casually gave him an out saying, hey, if you can't make it, just text me, but we would love to have you. He says he's going to be here. So we'll have highlights of the game. And Coach McMain's apparently here in studio.
Fantastic. And I know I'm no Jeff being able to, kind of keep up on things in here. But thanks for having me along and being along for this inaugural episode that's just all over the place, wacky doodle fun.
Well, I walked in and you guys were live and I'm like, oh, I better be quiet. What's going on in here?
It was great.
I better watch out.
It was great. We were able to give you guys some score updates here, like I said, at halftime. It looks like Novi and Arlington might be getting back out there here in a couple minutes. I see some players kind of heading out to the field right now. Andy, how's it looking over there at Hillcrest versus Patriots? Are we getting some people that are about to start as well on there? So let's go side by side. Let's do a double box so we can take a look at both games as they get ready. Highlights from the Patriot-Hillcrest game there on your left. We're waiting for everything to come back out here on Novi versus Arlington on your right. This Patriot-Hillcrest game has actually been a good battle, Pep, actually back and forth. I know you're still editing over there.
No. I was paying attention to it a little bit too, Jason, because I try not to look too far ahead, but I can't help myself.
Yeah, of course.
Next week, Norte Vista will play Patriot. Okay. So if, let's say, Patriot beats Hillcrest, that's going to be that'll be for first place. That might be your league championship game next week. But, again, if Hillcrest takes care of business, and they kind of throw a wrench in all that. But, so, yeah, I'd keep an eye on that one.
Catch it all on Riverside TV?
Of course.
That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at doing over here. All right, we're going to take you back out over here on the right-hand side to kick off Arlington versus Novi. Andy, you know what to do. Let's go full screen. We'll bring you into the other game once we kick off there for the second half.
Wheels it in at the 3-yard line. Here's a look at one of the most dangerous runners in the Inland Empire. Henderson slips a tackle.
Wow.
Every time he touches, it could be a house call. We'll see if he can make some magic happen. And he nearly did. It took half of the team to drop him with the 40, a 37-yard return.
Just another element for Tajon Henderson to give nightmares to their opponents.
Scores around the league right now. JW North, in fact, it's a great night to be a member of Riverside football in general, led by the Huskies, or rather the JW North Huskies. They lead the Titans of Temescal Canyon 14-6. Hillcrest over Patriot right now 21-17 in our other Riverside TV game. And also from King High School, the Wolves lead the Panthers of Corona 37-0.
Wow, baby.
A drubbing of the Panthers right now. King with a win would improve to 5-3 overall. First down at their own 40. Start of the second half. Notre Vista up by 32. Elaine with a dance in the hole, and there he goes. Elaine to the 40. Foot race, and he's out across the 30-yard line. They'll mark him out right at that 30. It's a 30-yard run for Elaine.
Amazing. Elaine already had 49 yards after the first half, and he just adds just another couple dozen into the mix here.
That is 7 carries for 79 yards tonight for Dreddy Elaine, which pushes his total to 940 for the season. What a year it's been for Dreddy Elaine. Good enough if he was a senior. Very impressive if he was a junior. This is a sophomore tailback doing this.
What a nightmare for the River Valley League here for the next 3 years.
Incredible stuff for Elaine, and he seems like he's getting better every Friday night. First down at the Lions' 30-yard line. Elaine gets the call, squirts through a hole.
All right, we're going side by side again. Action here as Arlington's defense takes down Novi for a little bit of a loss there. On the left-hand side of your screen, Patriot and Hillcrest started out. Unfortunately, the kickoff went out of bounds on the left-hand side, but it looks like they're actually bringing it back. Let's go ahead and pop on over there to Patriot and Hillcrest, Andy. Let's see if Gasol can get us updated.
Out of bounds. Now, we mentioned that middle part of the field, you see kind of some of the brown, the patches there in the middle of the field. The middle of that field is very slick, very hard to kind of plant your foot and get it going. And I was talking with Travis Carter before the game, and he was saying, they played last night and they watered the field today, which drove him a little bit. He kind of was scratching his head a little bit about that. Here's the pooch kick, and fielded at the 44-yard line, and that's where they'll start. Making the catch for Patriot was Diego Munoz. So 1st and 10 Patriot, I guess not wanting to kick it deep to either Felix or Marquette Moore. We've seen both Felix and Moore reach the end zone for Patriot tonight. So 1st and 10 from the 44, and Patriot will get it going. And Chris Fowler, talking to him, their goal here is to make the playoffs. And we talked about tiebreakers. I think a win today for Patriot more or less gets them in, because they have the tiebreaker over Ramona, who they defeated a couple weeks ago. They have the tiebreaker over Arlington, who they beat last week. And then they would have the tiebreaker over Hillcrest. But right now the Trojans are in front. 1st and 10 from the 44. Munoz shifts in motion, and Felix takes it right into the middle of the
side by side now with some more action. Norte Vista pushing up the field into the close to the red zone, not quite there, down about the 25, 26-yard line. We're going to go ahead and pop back over there and see what's going on with that call.
Daniel Gonzalez with the tackle.
Been some interesting scenario here for Ken Batdorf. 4th down, what do you do?
If there is any weakness of this football team, they do have the kicking game in a bit of question. Place kicking, that is. Solid kickoff man, Eli Martinez. Roman Price, one of the better punters in the league, but kicking a little bit of a concern. A game like this, 4th and 5, you may as well go for it, but maybe in future games, maybe even the playoffs, the place kicking they'd love to have a little more reliable. 4th and 5.
Oh, man, looks like Arlington jumped off sides. Yep, sure did.
It's been that sort of a night for Arlington. They just can't seem to get anything right. Squandered an onside kick. Norte Vista converted with a touchdown. And it's just seemingly been a night where they haven't played as good as we've seen them play. This is not the Arlington that came in 4-3.
Over at the Hillcrest Patriot game, Patriot keeps on making their way down the field with a great catch across the middle of the field there by number 9. You'll see from the shotgun formation, threw it really quickly outside. Looked like he was going to go towards the sidelines, but brought it back across the middle. Getting them down, bringing it in. Hopefully have a good chance for them to get a score there. On your right, on the right side of your screen, you're seeing Novi continue to push up the field just outside the red zone in both games. So we're going to stay side by side here really quick, just to kind of catch the action, see what all teams are doing. There comes the rush up the right-hand side, down at about the 20-yard line there for the Warriors. On the right-hand side of your screen, Norte Vista has been getting it done through the air a lot today, and it looks like they might just get it done through the air again. A fantastic throw over there, out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Again, we're going to keep a side-by-side action here going just for another couple of minutes while we're watching both these games go. On the left-hand side of your screen, Patriot with a throw back to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Patriot, it looks like. They called it. It is. Patriot goes back up into the lead against Hillcrest on the left-hand side of your screen. That's 23-21 there. Norte Vista is lining up. We're going to go big box on Norte Vista versus Arlington. Let's see if the Braves can punch one in.
A lane in the backfield to join Isaac Costello. Both have already scored rushing touchdowns tonight. They'll give it to Elaine, who cuts it back and waltzes into the end zone.
Easy
I mean, that was almost too easy for Dreddy Elaine.
We're going to go back
Touchdown,
side by
Norte
side.
Vista.
Take a look at that field goal. It is actually up. It is good. Patriot now has 24. Hillcrest has 21. This game on your left here has been back and forth all night. I know the Braves have been putting on quite a bit of a show, although it looks like that ball might be coming back. No, they are definitely set up for a field goal. It looked a little bit interesting there. On the left-hand side of your screen, you can see the Patriot Warriors. Good clean touchdown. That ball never hit the ground. Lining up for a kickoff there. Again, on the right-hand side of your screen, take a look at this extra point. It is up and good. So we got both teams getting ready for kickoffs after scoring events in both games. We're going to go back full screen, big box here, Patriot Hillcrest, after we take a look at this other great throw again to the outside. Again, Norte Vista tonight has been tossing the ball almost as well as they've been running the ball, and really it's just kind of spread this Arlington defense a little too thin, where they just don't know where to go or what to play. On the left-hand side of your screen, we're going to go big box, Patriot versus Hillcrest. Hillcrest now with the ball.
Got a little bit of room, and he'll get hit straight up at about the 30-yard line. I think they got him up to the 31, and that's where he stopped. Tackle on the play made by Jonathan Cervantes for Patriot. But his senior class, the seniors now, they're the guys that kind of enforce the culture at Patriot. You know, they've lost some games late, and they really want to finish. They had a couple of close losses this year early, and you can tell they've learned from that, a 5-point win and a 3-point win in the last 2 weeks. I'm guessing this one will be a pretty close one, too, as Hillcrest will start it off. But what Coach Fowler has said is, you know, now we have our seniors on the sideline kind of enforcing the culture, and that's always a pleasant thing for coaches to see. Here's the throw by Alvarado, complete to about the 36. No, it was picked off. Stepping up and making the pick, Pablo Olvera. Turnover number 2 forced by this Patriot defense. Olvera with the pick. So second turnover. There was a fumble at 6:10 of the second quarter. And not a bad throw, just a good play. Olvera just makes the play. Steps in and pulls the ball away from McDowell. We talked about Olvera earlier. He's the guy, Chris Fowler, telling me, you know, he said we list him at 5'5". I don't know that he's even that big, but let me tell you something. He is not afraid. Came in with 36 tackles, 3 passes defensed, add an interception to that 1st and 10 Patriot from the 35. Miramontes keeping it dancing. Breaks 1 tackle. Now he's down at the 35-yard line. That's Muhammad Lalisi making the play, stopping him for no gain. Lalisi with a big hit on Miramontes. Keeps it himself. Gets by Alhambra and then Lalisi there. Lalisi playing with a broken thumb. Was talking to Travis Carter and, you know, kind of worked his way into the rotation. Hadn't played football until he came to high school. You know, he said didn't have a background in football, but he's been one of our leading guys, was one of their leading tacklers last year, and their leading tackler coming into play tonight was their 6th leading tackler last year. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. Miramontes looking downfield. Incomplete, nearly picked off. They almost gave it right back. Marquette Moore, no, instead, that's Lyman, the intended receiver. On the coverage there was Jacob Burnett. So, yeah, threw it a little bit behind him, and there were two Trojans right in the vicinity. Third down coming up. Can Joshua Mason's defense play around the turnover here? Third down.
All right, Trojan fans, it's third down.
Miramontes looking for it. Complete, just sitting down at the 25-yard line. Making the catch. That's Villanueva. So about 10 yards on the pitch and catch. Villanueva, another clutch catch. Has his 4 catches on the game, including the big touchdown that put Patriot on top 24-21. First and 10 from the 25. Miramontes, the option. Nice block by Felix. Inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. Alhambra makes the tackle. It's about a 7-yard pickup for Miramontes, and they keep the clock churning. But watch Felix here. Making the block. Alhambra still, though, made the tackle, and Marquette Moore also impeding Ramos there. When your backs and receivers are blocking downfield, that's just a testament to the culture of your team. Miramontes trying to slip inside. Nice block by Felix. He'll rumble down to about the 13-yard line, so give him 4 more.
Going side-by-side action again here. Norte Vista versus Arlington. The Braves received the punt, took a quick little shot up the gut, drove it down the field into the red zone. So we got both games in the red zone. So we're going to keep it right here, keep an eye on both of them. You'll see the replay here in just a second on your right, on the right-hand side of your screen, unless that ball is coming back, and it does look like it's coming back. So instead of going side-by-side, we're going to go back full screen, Patriot and Hillcrest.
Makes the catch, breaks the tackle, touchdown, Patriots. 15-yard touchdown, the second touchdown reception for Villanueva. 6 more for the Warriors, 30-21. So Villanueva with his second touchdown catch, third touchdown pass on the game for Miramontes. PAT coming from Freddie Madrid. So 2 turnovers by Hillcrest, both converted into scores. That's the difference in the game right now. 14 points for the Warriors off of turnovers, 31-21 with the PAT. We'll
2 bucks right here as Patriot is now up 31-21 on Hillcrest on the right-hand side of the screen. We're taking a look at the River Valley League standings. We're going to go back full screen at Norte Vista Arlington. Take a look and see what we got going on here.
Seth Bolinder, the quarterback matchup for that season finale. And while the Rams' chances to win the league may be over, they could play spoilers in that final game.
Well, here's the interesting factor as well as we look towards CAF, and I know Ken Batdorf does not look like to look down the road
but
here.
He might have to.
He might have to at this point.
I'm pretty sure they'd clinch the playoffs at least with a win.
Right, exactly. And again, when we get to CIF, even though a lot of these teams may be in the same league, they could essentially get separated by divisions as well.
Absolutely. And a lot of that kind of depends on how you play to close the season. A lane on a 2nd and 15.
Wow.
This is one of the first times of the night the Lions completely overwhelmed the offensive line. Mario Polaggi, the 6'2 senior, was the first there on the tackle.
A lot of jerseys by the Lions flying to that one to create about a 10-yard loss here for a lane.
Check out number 7, Mario Polaggi. I mean, he slipped right in there and broke the tackle. There he is with one arm, dragging him down.
Flying to the football, which is really great defense here by the Lions.
It took you a while to break out the dad joke.
Well, you know.
You're a brave soul for doing that. A 3rd and 18 following that run. If anyone can convert this, it would be a Tajon Henderson, but he's not in the game. They'll run the bubble screen this time. First grab of the ball game for number 19, whose name we do not know. Neither does the PA guy, so I don't feel as bad. He's tackled at the 39.
Just one of those scenarios here for high school football where many times we get no name or no number on the rosters that were given.
Well, don't feel too bad for the folks involved with switching the guy's jersey or what have you. You'll see this in college significantly, where in college football, guys in the middle of the game, either their jersey gets messed up or they just simply want to change.
I guess. Third quarter there, Norda Vista still up on Arlington, 42-3. We're going to jump back to the Hillcrest Patriot game. Hillcrest charging down the field, missing, connecting on that pass, actually up the middle there. Mr. Gasol Hassan has the call.
35-yard line, a penalty flag on the play. I think we're going to see more yardage tacked onto that. So a 32-yard completion to McDowell. And we mentioned that middle of the field's been looking pretty good for Hillcrest. Alvarado, good ball, right in stride. McDowell catches it. Payan on him, drags him down. And I'm wondering if that's a face mask or a horse collar. Yeah, horse collar. So tack 15 more yards on. First penalty of the second half, it'll be a big one. So it'll be half the distance, the 32-yard completion to McDowell. His fourth catch. Four catches for McDowell, 62 yards, and the ball moves down to the 20. Hillcrest down 10, trips to the far side. DeBensis running, twisting down inside the 15, tackled by Galiza. Another look. Ninth carry for Vences. He's got a touchdown already today. Second down. Alvarado looking middle. Touchdown. Nicholas Shaw, another trip to pay dirt. Touchdown Hillcrest. Fourth reception for Shaw. His second touchdown. He's got 127 yards.
Hillcrest with a quick little touchdown there, hoping to come and tie it back up. We're going back side by side again. Novi is cutting up the middle, making its way to the red zone now. Not so far. Arlington's defense put up a good battle there. Able to take him down behind the line, or not behind the line of scrimmage, but only for a gain of 2, which feels like a behind the line of scrimmage, the way that Novi's been moving down the field here tonight. On the left-hand side of your screen, Hillcrest getting set for their extra point attempt. The kick is up. It is good. That was a little close one there on that side, on the side. Almost looked like it was going to be a miss there. But you can see Hillcrest just kind of making their way down through the field. They've been doing it this way all night with zigs and zags across the middle, mostly connecting with receivers on the inside and not the outside. We're going to go back full screen. Norda Vista versus Arlington.
On second down and 6 yards to go. Bolander throws a quick screen on the left side to senior Julian Reyes, who's run out at the 13-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Reyes, his 6th reception of the year.
First of the night.
Norda Vista closes the season after the Thursday game at Patriot with a long week, followed by an October 27th home game against Ramona. Their final home game of the season, of course. Arlington, with the loss tonight, will fall to 4-4 overall and have a chance to remount against the aforementioned Rams, and then close the season here on the 27th against Hillcrest. 3rd and 3 yards to go. Bolander brings a man in motion. King Butler. They'll keep it on the ground on a pitch to Elaine. Good idea. Elaine gets a block and spins in for a touchdown.
Wow.
And there are no flags on the field.
Holy
13
smokes.
yards for veteran Dreddy Elaine. His 14th rushing touchdown of the year.
Just like that. Another 7, another 6 on the scoreboard here. I would think you want to start sitting Elaine down. I know he would like to get more numbers up on the stats department, but
yeah, he's competing with the Elaine family.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Eddie, Freddie, Dreddy, and the sister Betty. To borrow one from Jeff Gorham.
you know, he's got some gems. You know, I've stolen a thing or two.
He is the
from
mayor
him.
of Riverside. You do realize that?
I do realize. I don't know if I can steal that from him. But
No.
And that kick is good.
Norte Vista makes and connects on their extra point. Patriot is now charging down the field, trying to make a comeback against Hillcrest. Just had a 6-yard loss, sack behind the play. Let's go full screen. Back to Patriot and Hillcrest.
Get up, thrown to the outside.
Gasol Hassan.
45. Up back to the original line of scrimmage. Ramos punches him out. Mayweather was there as well. So maybe they got the loss back. Lyman with 4 catches, 30 yards on the game. Miramontes now 12 of 15 through the air, 64 yards. So 3rd and 10 coming up. Looking deep and incomplete, was looking for Villanueva. I think there was a little bit of a cross up there. Flag on the play. Alhambra kind of had his hands out to his sides. Joel Malcor will tell us what happened. It'll be on the Trojans. So Miramontes lining it up, throwing it. Villanueva asked for it, and penalty. So 15 yards to the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Obviously, the 2 turnovers forced by the Patriot defense. Now, Hillcrest would like to get one. 4:53 to play in the 3rd quarter from the 47. Felix right into the teeth of the defense. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Getting up from the bottom of the pile, Aiden Parks was the first man there. Big boys up front. Sandoval, Sanchez, Valencia, Mejia, Chavez for Patriot. And they're at the tight end, Diego Ramos in there. Just done such a tremendous job. Patriot came in averaging 261 yards rushing. Miramontes will keep it. He'll find some space up to the 35, trying to push him back. They'll mark it to the 35, so give him about a 3-yard pickup on the play. His 15th carry on the game. 80 yards rushing for Miramontes. 3rd and 7. And now they're a threat on the air. Marquette Moore split out to the near side. Lyman in the near slot. Villanueva, who's been big today, split out to the far side. Ramos, the tight end, on the left side. Bootleg left. Miramontes will go down after about a 2-yard gain. Is that Maldonado? Yeah, Maldonado getting up from the bottom of the pile. Got some help from Lalisi. 2-yard pickup brings up 4th down. Trying to cut inside, but nice job by Lalisi coming over there. Mentioned did not have much of a background in football, and just one of those kids, Coach Carter says, kind of shows up and does everything you ask of him and just tries to get better every week, and been among the leading tacklers each of the last 2 years. 4th down, Patriot going to go for it. Miramontes looking, going up top. He's got a man. Intercepted. Inside the 5-yard line. I believe that was Ramos makes the play. Indeed, Ramos makes the play right on the 1-yard line. Now, of course, you're going to say 4th down, know the situation, just bat it down. You get about 30 more yards, 35 yards of field position. But he's looking to make a play on the ball. Remember, it's one-on-one. If he doesn't catch it, maybe Moore does. Nice
side-by-side action here, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. Through the ball from Arlington, through the hands and the fingers, down to the Norte Vista defense, gets taken down. Norte Vista's ball now inside the 40, but we're going to go back full screen as this Patriot Hillcrest game is shaping up to be a classic. Let's see where they go.
Oh, it does. Turn back a drive and right up the middle. Little extracurricular activity. The big guy coming out on Olvera. Second down. Vensis running right, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Godoy getting up from the bottom of the pile. Olvera was also in around the football. Third down coming up. Clock moving. End of the third quarter. 31-28 Patriot on top. Big third down coming up. Front three has been stout for Patriot tonight. Third down. Alvarado to throw. Looking middle. He's got a man in and out of the hands of McDowell. McDowell had it and dropped it. Fourth down coming up.
Tried to get it out of the red zone there, just through the hands. Norte Vista driving down the field. They are inside the 10-yard line. First and goal now. We're going to go full box, full screen. Norte Vista versus Arlington.
19. I mean, I can only
still searching for the name to go with the number.
Inside run of the fullback, Robert Gutierrez. And in my mind, when you bring in backups and you run the football, this is not rubbing it in.
No, it
run
isn't.
your regular offense. Norte Vista, class act football team, but they're going for a touchdown here.
Absolutely. I mean, you still want to keep your offensive line just fresh, just sparked, ready to keep rumbling through that next game that will take place this coming Thursday.
Yeah.
Braves are taking their time, Bill.
We don't know how many wins Ken Battendorf has for his career, but he was talking about, it would be pretty cool to hit like a 300 milestone. And that gets to the final point. Ken Battendorf, he's been around 30 years, and he's saying, don't expect me to retire anytime soon.
Yeah, he's not looking to retire. In fact, he says he has a date in mind. He's just not telling anybody.
That's right. Well, what's funny is that you may have a date in mind, but then all of a sudden Father Time comes around and makes things different.
No,
what in the world happened there?
Well, it was a delay of game.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, mercifully what the Braves are doing, they're just taking they're just kind of taking their time.
Love it.
They drew the penalty. I think that's pretty first class here by the Braves.
Love it. Norte Vista wins their fourth game in a row against Arlington. This one a resounding victory, 49-3. Best of luck for the Braves and Patriot on Thursday. We will not have a final in that game. Tune into our other Riverside TV broadcast to get the final of that. Patriot underway right now, going into the later stages of the third against Hillcrest. But Norte Vista takes care of business on their end in a resounding win. In fact, on Riverside TV, it's the largest margin of victory this season, 49-3 Braves.
So that'll take care of it. Clock is going to wind down to 0, and the Braves with another huge win here in River Valley League play.
2 touchdowns from Dreddy Elaine. He neared 100 yards rushing in the ball game tonight. Tajon Henderson was outstanding too, with a touchdown run of 42 and a touchdown grab of 49. All around great performance. Norte Vista scores on 7 of its first 8 drives of the ball game and wins going away against their River Valley League foe, 49-3. Before we go down, final thoughts, JR.
Yeah, like we were mentioning earlier on, Batdorf was looking for that complete game. This is probably the best looking game the team has had so far in the 23 season. So if they can build upon what they did tonight, headed into this next Thursday's matchup,
that's the end
and
of the
continue
game
that
there
here for the next few
Northern
weeks.
Vista,
This is a team I think
49-3. The Braves over the Lions. The Braves getting it done on the ground and weirdly through the air. Haven't seen them throw that much in quite some time. Arlington's definitely got some stuff to work on with their defense. Running clock there, so that game is over. We're going to get you back out to the Hillcrest Patriot game here in a second, but that game is currently at commercial. It's the end of the third quarter there. Close game, close matchup going back and forth. Really quick update on some scores around the league. We had the number 1 versus the number 2 team playing against each other tonight. That's the Mater Dei Monarchs against the St. John Bosco Braves. Currently, we are in the third quarter with about 3 minutes to go, and weirdly enough, St. John Bosco is up 21-0 right now on Mater Dei for a surprise of the night. You got 2 touchdowns there in the second quarter. It added a third one in the third. And Mater Dei is currently driving down the field, hoping to gain one of those possessions back and not be down by 3 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter there. Some other scores really quickly around the league. None of these are final yet, but they're getting there. We have King up on Corona, currently 44-0. Liberty Bison against the San Jacinto Tigers. That game was a lot Liberty. Come back really quick from the Tigers. It was actually 23-21. The game currently, Pep, do you have something you want to say? You can add it in by turning on your mic and definitely letting us know that quick update.
It's funny you say that because as you're saying that, one of the assistant coaches from Liberty just texted me. Liberty is up 37-21 going to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they're pulling away. I didn't see that coming.
It wasn't actually a big pull away. It was actually 23-21 not too long ago, but the Bison have added 2 more touchdowns in the second half that allowed them to kind of pull away a little bit more there. We also have another close game happening right now between the Chaparral Pumas and Murrieta Valley Nighthawks. That game, as of right now, scores coming in literally as I'm talking about the game. Chaparral is up 28-27 over the Nighthawks. That game is in the fourth quarter right now, but Murrieta Valley just scored, so that's why it's 28-27. They should be able to add the extra tick there. About 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, so if you get a chance to go ahead and take a look at that game, highly suggest you do so. What we're going to do now really quickly is go ahead and go back out to Hillcrest and Patriot. There was a quick little flag that was going there on the last little play. I don't know what it is. We're going to get an update really quickly here from Mr. Ghasal Hassan. We'll be back with some more updates if things go to commercial or a break happens. You'll be able to see some stuff there. Andy, let's go ahead and take us back out to the Patriot Hillcrest game.
Good ball. Could get a hand on it, but Ramos there, good coverage. Third down. Villanueva to the near side. Lyman far slot. Moore far side. Looks like a 4-man front. But watch Maldonado rushing off the edge. Here's the give to Felix right up the middle. Inside the 35. Fourth down. So fourth down coming up, and they'll keep the offense out there. First down to the 26-yard line. Miramontes looking back to Coach Fowler, who runs the offense. And now Felix and he will exchange. Clock moving, under 10 minutes to play in this one. 31-28 Patriot. Heavy playoff implications tonight in the River Valley. Low snap. Picked up by Miramontes. Looking outside. Deflects off of Mingus Smith. Did he get it? No, he didn't, but it's incomplete. And the ball over on downs to Hillcrest. Mingus loves Smith on the play. Watch it again. Low snap, and they were going to go for Lyman. The coverage on the outside deflects off Villanueva's hands, and the ball in the air, but didn't matter. It was fourth down, and the Hillcrest will bring their offense out. Warriors, the message all week has been finish. And I was talking to Chris Fowler. They lost a game by 1 score to Grand Terrace. They lost the game by 2 points earlier to Serrano. And I said, what did your team learn from that? And he said, well, we learned that, hey, we got to play 4 quarters. And the seniors kind of emphasizing that to the younger guys, particularly when they make a big play early. And they say, hey, this game's got plenty of time to go. Going for it all, looking for Phillips, incomplete. Alvera on the coverage. And it's interesting because we were talking, and he said the wins, they won a 5-point game against Ramona and a 3-point game against Arlington each of the last 2 weeks, and Coach Fowler thinks that definitely goes back to those losses earlier. And obviously he still would have wanted those wins. But he said, if I could trade those 2 losses for league wins, you'll do it every time. 2nd and 10. Play action over the middle, complete to McDowell, and tripped up right at midfield. Alvera got his hand down. He'll go to the 44-yard line. So an 18-yard pickup to McDowell, had the drop earlier, his 5th catch on the game. Alvarado, another completion. He's 11 of 14 through the air for 221 yards. Another look at it. Down goes Vences. Maybe to the line of scrimmage. Defensive coordinator for Patriot is Jacob Flores. He's a first-year coordinator, played at King. And if you remember, I just tripped over his own guy there. 2nd down coming up. Play action, Alvarado throwing. McDowell, nice play, incomplete. That's Alvera coming over, making another play. What a big game tonight for Pablo Alvera, the junior, making some big plays for the defense for Patriots. Little bit behind McDowell, gave Alvera just enough time to come in and make that play. 3rd and 10 coming up. I'm guessing this is probably 4-down territory for the Trojans. Let's see. 3-man front. McDowell in motion. They'll give it to him on the end around. Ramos to throw it. Now it closes up, and Ramos will run the football. Villanueva spins him down. It'll be down about the 42, so 4 yards after all that. 4th down coming up. Nice job by Nate Villanueva. Villanueva, obviously the younger brother of Ray Villanueva. And nice little block there by Benitez, and he just holds on and throws him down. 4th down. Wow. They draw the defense offside. 2nd penalty on Patriot. That should give Hillcrest a 1st down. Right at the marker, they're going to talk about it. 1st down. So 31-28, the Warriors trying to hold on to this one, but Hillcrest driving. Difference in the game right now, a couple of turnovers by the Trojans have turned into 14 Patriot points. But the home team on homecoming driving for the go-ahead score. 3 receivers split out to the near side. Shaw on the far side. Here's the give to Vences running right. Vences has got some space before he can get to the 2nd level, though he is cut down. Stepping up and making the play on the defensive side for Patriot. Jesse Valero in there, along with Aiden Miller. Nice job by Vences. About 12 yards on the run. Move the sticks. Vences again in the middle, inside the 20 down to about the 17. Grant Jones with the tackle. So line judge standing at about the 17. 2nd down. A little confusion there. Here's the throw to the outside. Complete touchdown. Trojans into the end zone. Chad Phillips with the catch. 17-yard touchdown pass from Alvarado to Phillips. What a night the senior quarterback is having. Hillcrest takes the lead. 7:09 to play fourth quarter. Another lead change. Surprise, surprise. Homecoming crowd loving it for Hillcrest. Diego Alba Diaz, lefty, swings the leg and puts it through. 35-31.
All right, coming back here in the studio.
A little bit of confusion,
really
but Alvarado not
as the score just got updated there. Quick update again on scores. Really quickly from around the league that we're keeping an eye on. We're going to have more of these scores later on tonight, as well as finals on the Friday night pep rally. But currently, King is up 51-0 on Corona. The Liberty Bison game, which we just got done mentioning. San Jacinto Tigers making a comeback. Not only are they making a comeback, they got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to bring that game within 8 points. It's now 37-29. The game of the night that everyone's been talking about, everyone's been taking a look at, has been Modern Day St. John's Bosco. It's still 21-0 there. Braves up on the Monarchs. However, St. John's is charging down the field and has the ball currently at their own 37-yard line, hoping to add to their 3 scores that they have there. A really quick peek in at Linfield Christian. They're up 49-0 right now on Trinity Classical. But a really close game, and we might have a little bit more rumblings tonight. We'll check and see. Roosevelt is currently up on Norco 26-24. That game is really close. Make sure you stick around for that later on tonight. For now, we're going to go right back out to the Hillcrest Patriot game. Ghasal Hassan has the call as we kick off.
Senior quarterback for Hillcrest. Senior quarterback Miramontes on the field for Patriot. The defense for Hillcrest the last 3 weeks has really been susceptible to the run. 348 yards they gave up against Novi, 242 against Grand Terrace, 222 against Ramona. This is Miramontes taking it outside the midfield, crosses over into Hillcrest territory. They'll mark him up to the 46-yard line. So 13-yard pickup there. Marquette Moore matched up on the near side. Lyman in the near slot. Mayweather matched up on him. And then Villanueva, who's done a lot of damage to the far side. Felix gets outside, inside the 40. Shoved out of bounds by Bustamante. They'll mark him inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 7 yards on the play. Breaks, gets around the first tackler and then shoved out by Bustamante. Mark him to the 39. Good day at the office for Felix. Over 100 yards. Miramontes runs right into the hands of Maldonado, and now he's going to be pushed back. It'll be 3rd down. See where they mark him. They'll give him the line of scrimmage, so it'll come up and be 3rd and 9. And, you know, both offensive lines playing extremely well. Give credit to the big boys up front. Robert Sandoval, Joseph Sanchez, Jonathan Valencia, Arthur Mejia, Joseph Chavez for Patriot. 3rd and 3, and now loading the box is the defense for Hillcrest. But it looks like Nicholas Shaw even coming out and playing some defense. They have Shaw lined up as a linebacker. Miramontes will take it himself. Gets past Shaw. He'll lean forward. Second effort should have the first down. Looks like Shaw might have had him. Watch the replay here. They had the right idea. Shaw sheds the block, and actually, that's Alhambra. Sheds the block and tries to pull him down. Wow, he's short. He's well short, as a matter of fact. So here we go. Yeah, full yard short. Well, here it is. Here's the ball game right here. This is what Patriot does. I would guess Mr. Felix will get the football here. Let's see what happens. Miramontes takes it. He's got the first down. Miramontes over the right side. Running behind Sandoval and Sanchez. Sanchez last year, came out for football, wasn't eligible, but made some friends on the team, got his grades up, and Coach Fowler says, you know what, he gives me everything he's got. And that's all I can ask for. And he's kind of anchoring the line on that right side. And, he was unsure. He was like, my grades, this, that, and the other. And Coach Fowler said, listen, you sit down, you do the work, we'll get you the grades. And sure enough, it's worked out well. The big number's 70. And Coach Fowler said maybe he has an opportunity. He'll get an opportunity to play beyond high school. From the 33, first down. Thrown to the outside, complete inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. That's Diego Ramos, the senior tight end. So Ramos gets out of bounds after a 7-yard pickup, and he's also played a role in terms of being a blocker. You see him standing there next to Arthur Mejia and Joseph Chavez on the right side of that offensive line. Second down. Direct snap to Felix. Still on his feet, still driving. Near a first down. Let's see where they mark him. 4:11 left, second down play. And now you got to think about this, because with a lot of guys playing both sides, particularly on Hillcrest for defense, the fatigue factor may seep in here. Now it's homecoming, it's senior night, so you figure the adrenaline will work for a little bit. So a personal foul will move it half the distance. The gain was to the 28. The ball will now go to the 14. That's just the second penalty in the second half. They had 4 in the first half, so 6th penalty assessed on the Trojans. There was a pass interference and now the personal foul. So a big stand coming up for the Trojan defense. And then obviously with all the quick scores today, if you're Patriot, how much of the clock do you want to burn off? But obviously you got to get the score. 35-31. Hillcrest, the home team, on top. Been a whale of a game. Direct snap to Felix running left. All the way down inside the 5. Ridden down at about the 3-yard line. Lalisi there, along with Matt Ramos. And Ramos, you see the helmet have come off. So, call it the 3-yard line. And the direct snap to Felix. Running left. And, Ramos there, Lalisi there. I mean, Mayweather got his nose in there as well. And first and goal coming up. Clock continuing to move. So now you're Travis Carter. When do you think about maybe calling timeout? Felix, how do you do? Felix runs headlong into Arian Candia. The offensive lineman now playing on the D-line makes a huge play. So a good give here, and then Candia just sheds his block, and he's in the right place at the right time. Second and goal. Miramontes takes it himself. Still on his feet, still driving. They're going to stop him at the 1-yard line. So third down and goal coming up. And the Trojans call a timeout. Oh, actually, no, that is a foot because they got inside the 2, so it looks like that. Now it's first and goal. That was my fault. Sorry. So first and goal from the 1 with 2:38. Travis Carter exhausts
Welcome back
his
here
first.
at the Riverside TV studios. I'm Jason Sipe. I do the technical direction for the Friday night pep rally, but for some reason I'm in front of the camera tonight giving you guys some quick updates and quick scores. We're doing the inaugural pep zone here this evening. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed going back and forth between the games that we have here on Riverside TV and getting some quick updates like these that I'm giving you right now. Quick update on our Modern Day St. John Bosco game right now. Bosco is driving down the field. There was a hurt Modern Day player that was down on the field for a little bit of time. They are now back to playing, though. With about 4 minutes left in the game, St. John Bosco is currently sitting on Modern Day's 19-yard line, looking to score again to go up 28-0. Currently, it's 21-0. They're looking to add to that, though, over the #1 team in the nation. Another quick update as well for you. The Liberty game against San Jacinto has closed and gotten much tighter. The Bison actually ended up kicking a field goal not too long ago that put them up 40-23. But now San Jacinto is coming right back. They scored a couple of touchdowns. It's now 40-37. So that game is getting close with less than 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter as well. And then we also have, we've been following the Nighthawks versus the Pumas, Merida Valley versus Chaparral. This one's been back and forth all night with the Pumas really being up for a little while. However, MV has come back and is currently up 35-28 with about, let's see here, about 4 minutes left in that game as well. Last game that we want to update you on, San Gorgonio and Arroyo Valley. This one has been also very close all night. Currently, San Gorgonio is up 28-26. Also with about 9 minutes left to go in the game, San Gorgonio is currently driving and has the ball on Arroyo Valley's 45-yard line. We're going back out. Thank you, Andy, for giving me that quick update. Let's head on back out to the field, take a look and see what's going on with Patriot and Hillcrest.
Big point after by Freddie Madrid. Madrid 4 for 4 today, 26 for 27 on the year. His only PAT miss came back on September 14th against Fontana out of the hold of Nate Villanueva. Swings the left leg and up and in. 38-35. So 2 timeouts left. A minute 47 remain for Hillcrest. Here's the touchdown run. They've been running that right side. Miramontes, though, this time kind of slides in behind Jonathan Valencia, the center, for Hillcrest. That's how you get the touchdown. Lalisi was there in a cavalcade of tacklers for Hillcrest, but just squeezed in for the touchdown did Miramontes. Now, what do you do here? Do you kick it deep? I guess you have to kick it deep, right? It's only a 3-point game. You got to push them as deep as you can, but that also opens up the possibility of either Shaw or Ramos running it back. Strategery, as Will Ferrell calls it, right? So here's Madrid lining it up. Homecoming, fourth quarter, and the home team will have the ball for the last sequence. Ramos from the 4. Breaks one tackle, and he'll go down at the 40-yard line, gets over the 40, about a 37-yard return. Grant Jones with the tackle for Patriot. So remember, they can tie this game with a field goal. Alba Diaz, long on the year, 29 yards. So sorry, that's from the 9-yard line. He'll get over the 41, nearly a horse collar there, so about a 32-yard return. Now, watch the middle of the field. Now, particularly, we talked about how, oh, wow, so that's going to be a 15-yarder. That I guess they did call the horse collar. So the 7th penalty against Patriot. 60 penalty yards and into Patriot territory. So a minute 40 to play. 2 timeouts left for Travis Carter. Let's see how they work it. The middle of the field's been working well for the passing game. Alvarado over the middle. Complete to McDowell. and a touchdown-saving tackle at about the 13-yard line. Surprise, surprise, Pablo Olvera. Remember, McDowell had the drop earlier. 29-yard pickup to the 13. Alvarado, what a game for him, his senior year. Vences runs it. Vences surges up to about the 5-yard line. 8 yards on the play. Clock continuing to run. Looking back to the sideline, you see Alvarado there. McDowell in the near slot. Phillips split out to the near side. Far slot, Ramos. The give to Vences up the middle. Still on his feet, knocked down at about the 3-yard line. Timeout. Oh, it's not. It's a first down. First down to the 3-yard line. Ball is set. They'll restart the clock. Here we go. Big boys up front. Aaron Candia, Elias Capote, Christian Benitez, Noah Zuniga, Jose Beltran. Aiden Parks also in at tight end, occasionally blocking. Let's see where they go. Oh, false start. So a 5-yard mark off. It'll bring it back to the 7-yard line. Clock moving. So Ramos in the far slot. Shaw split out to the far side. Shaw's had a big game tonight. Let's see if they go that direction. They look the other way. Here's the throw. McDowell can't come up with it. Clock stops with 21 seconds to play. McDowell with 6 catches. $99 yards. The junior came in averaging 9.5 yards a catch. Second down play. Vences dancing. Vences breaks a tackle, diving down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. Timeout, Hillcrest with 14 9/10 of a second to play. Third down coming up. How about deja vu all over again? Last year, these teams met at Rubidoux High, October 7th, and it came down to the final play of the game for Hillcrest, and they walked away with a 42-41 win. In 2017 on Friday the 13th, 36-35 game, that went to Patriots. And the mantra for Chris Fowler and his staff all week has been to finish. They won a 3-point game, and they won a 5-point game so far in league play. We mentioned in the open, Travis Carter and the Trojans, they've seen that as well. 3 of their games have been...
Gasol's talking about last year's game, which we're actually going to pull up for you here on Riverside TV. Andy, if you could go ahead and hit that, it's an ME8 over there. We're going to take a look and see what last year's game actually looked like. This was actually how it was. Andy, are you able to pull it up? Okay, well, we don't actually have it for you here, but there was a touchdown that was scored 35-41 right when time began to expire. Hillcrest ended up tying things with Patriot. They would go on to kick the extra point with no time left on the clock, eventually end up winning. Andy, where are we at with the game right now? Can we head on back out there? Let's head on back out there. Let's take a look at this game. Hillcrest, Patriots, 2023. It's a redux of 2022. Let's go to it, Andy.
That's the final timeout for Hillcrest. So one play is going to come down to this play. Another look at it. Nice surge by the defensive front. Look at Big Godoy in there. And we talk about him occupying 2 blockers. He was one-on-one there, but he slowed the play up enough to allow the rest of the defense, Pearson, to sneak in there and make the play. That's the senior Nicholas Godoy. Godoy's older brother, Gage, also played at Patriot. And they went, they were playing a lot of 43s. You got to look at the huddle here for Hillcrest. They went to the 3-4 because his size, he could occupy multiple blockers. Help the linebackers get to the ball a little bit quicker. Well, here we go. Ball game right here. And now Chris Fowler will call timeout. Talking about the coaches, and they're both great guys, and they both helped a lot with the broadcast this week. But, Chris Fowler, Harupa Valley guy, came up, started when Patriot started the program. Kevin Corden started the program. He was an assistant on Kevin.
All right, we got it queued up yet again. Andy, go ahead and hit that space bar. Let's take a look at this play that we had last year. Again, this was Hillcrest versus Patriot. You can go ahead and hit play on that, Andy, and we'll go to that specific play.
However this goes, this has been an entertaining contest for sure.
Go to take the touchdown. There were 7 seconds left there on the clock. Hillcrest gets down in their formation. Quarterback takes the snap, tosses it across the middle, and barely sneaking it in for the touchdown to tie the game. Again, this was last year in 2022. It was just enough to tie the game. They would go on to kick the extra point. The extra point would be good, and Hillcrest had the upset victory over Patriot. Looking to do that again. Andy, let's go back to the game now live. This year, 2023. Is it going to be like 2022? Touchdown, Hillcrest. Mr. Hassan is tied
from Ramos. How about that? Oh, my. The trick play, basically running a 2-point conversion, and it's the quarterback, Christian Alvarado, who catches the winning touchdown pass. Wow. What a ball game. Another look at it. Ramos to throw, and then all alone is Alvarado. So they're going to put 4 seconds back on the clock, and here's the PAT. So Hillcrest 41-38. The field goal, or the PAT, would make it 42. With 4 seconds on the clock. On a 4th down play, the trick play, man. Hey, Travis Carter, next time we go to Vegas, you're coming, and we're going to spend the whole night at the craps table because put those chips down wherever you want to. Alba Diaz going to swing the foot. Misses it. So now 41-38. But not enough time. Wow. A 3-point game, but Patriot, you can fair catch a kickoff and then try a field goal, but, I'm guessing at this point, Hillcrest would just boom it deep to kill the clock. Unless there's a penalty. Wow. Homecoming crowd loving it here at Zach Erb Stadium. Talk about playoff implications. What a huge win for Hillcrest. Vences to Ramos to Alvarado. They're setting this play up, by the way, setting it up all night. Number of angles on the game-winning play. I'll bet you with Travis Carter, the crap table in Vegas, he calls hop all the time. Here we go. They'll kick it deep. And he stumbles. And that's it. Wow. Tremendous high school football game tonight at Zach Erb Stadium. We'll have Travis Carter as the teams shake hands. Wow, what a win. 6th straight win for Hillcrest over Patriot. Friday the 13th proves to be lucky for the
upset there by Hillcrest. They did it again this year in 2023, the same as they did back in 2022. Pep, you got anything you want to say about this? Because that was an ending for ending ages again.
Yeah, it was a little bit of deja vu. We were sitting here, I'm editing video, and I'm like, I look up for a moment, I'm like, I think this game ended just like this last year on Riverside TV, and sure enough, you dug it up, and that's basically what happened.
Couldn't believe it again. Like last second play, it's crazy to see how these games are shaping out. But that'll do it basically for our first time here on the Pep Zone here on Friday night, the Riverside TV Friday night. Later on, about 90 minutes. Pep, you said you're cutting up highlights over there, right?
We got highlights, I think, from at least a dozen games. Crazy stuff tonight. I know you've been mentioning the Liberty San Jacinto score. San Jacinto losing their first league game in, 5 years?
Wow.
4 straight league titles, 20 straight league wins. And then also another one, I don't know if we've mentioned this, Cajon has won 6 straight Citrus Belt League titles. They've won 35 straight games in CBL play. They were losing 21-0 to Citrus Valley at halftime.
Goodness gracious.
So,
and speaking of losing, St. John Bosco is up 28-0 now on Modern Day. That's a huge surprise.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Tonight. We won't have highlights, unfortunately, of that game. But that is something to kind of see and to kind of take a look at. So again, you heard it, about 90 minutes. Check back here on Riverside TV. We'll have the entire highlight show. We'll have a coach coming in, maybe another special guest on top of that. There's a lot of different stuff to see here on the Friday night Pep Rally. Again, that'll be hosted by the one and only Pep Fernandez. I've been Jason Sipe here. I will be tech directing that show, not hosting, because this guy in front of the camera just doesn't really work. But I thank you for being alongside me here tonight as we
Are you getting ready for your next adventure? The City of Riverside has got you covered. Our passport acceptance facility is open and ready to help you with getting your U.S. passport. Located at 3025 Madison Street in the Public Utilities Customer Resource Center, we're available